7 p.m. and these are today's news. Khalid Nazar was buried this afternoon at Al Alia Cemetery in the presence of the Army General Saeed Shingriha, Chief of Staff of People's National Army, the Prime Minister Nadil Arbawi, and the Acting Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency of the Republic, Bou'alam Bou'alam. Tasked by the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister Nadil Arbawi chaired today the installation ceremony of Rabi'a Khirfi as President of the National Economic, Social and Environmental Council to replace Bushnak Khaledi. Sub-governorates promoted to delegate governorates. We will review and discover the economic potential of Barika and Qasr Shilal, and we will see the reactions of their inhabitants. This weekend, we will take you to the forest of Akfadu, an organized trip with young people passionate by nature and hiking. Welcome back. The retired Major General, former Minister of National Defense, the war veteran Khalid Nazar, was buried this afternoon at the Alia Cemetery in the presence of the Army General Saeed Shingriha, Chief of Staff of People's National Army, Prime Minister Nadil Arbawi, the Acting Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency of the Republic, Bou'alam Bou'alam, and members of the government. The funeral was also attended by the Army General Commander of the Republican Guard, the Secretary General of the National Defense Ministry, commanders of the forces and the gendarmerie, the commander of the 1st Military Region, heads of departments and directors of the central services of the Ministry of National Defense and the General Staff of People's National Army, in addition to some national and revolutionary personalities, members of the family of the late, and citizens. The Inspector of Information and Communication of the General Staff of the PNA paid tribute to the late, hailing his values and rich and honorable career as war veteran in the rank of the National Liberation Army and a senior executive of People's National Army.
تشاء الأقدار أن نودع سنة 2023 ونودع معها رجلا من خيرة رجال الجزائر، رجلا وطنيا مخلصا شهما لبى نداء الوطن خلال ثورة التحرير المجيدة ونذر عمره كاملا لخدمة الجزائر شعبا وجيشا، رجلا بذل شبابه في سبيل استرجاع الاستقلال والسيادة الوطنية.
The President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, presented yesterday his sincere condolences to the family of the late and to the People's National Army in a letter where he hailed his rich career of serving the country. This morning, the Army General Saeed Shingriha, Chief of Staff of People's National Army, accompanied with high-ranked executives of People's National Army, went to the late's house where they took the last look and recited verses of Al-Fatiha on his soul. In these painful circumstances, the Army General retreated and expressed his condolences on his behalf and on behalf of all People's National Army staff to the family of the late. Now let's recall the career of the late Army General Khalid Nazar, former Minister of National Defense, with Yasin Hamdi.
The late retired Mujahid, General Khalid Nazar, passed away yesterday at the age of 86, surrounded by his family. Born on December 27, 1937, in the village of Seriana in Batna province, nicknamed the Lightning Bolt of the Algerian army, he was known for his discipline and loyalty, strongly opposing all-inclusive against the interests of the state. His military career began with his engagement in the 1st Military Region of the National Liberation Army in 1958, after fleeing the French military school of Saint-Maxent, which he had joined in 1955. He became commander of the 5th Military Region in Constantine in 1982, then commander of the Land Forces and vice-chief of staff of the National People's Army on June 16, 1987. Khaled Nazar played a crucial role in stabilizing the country, particularly following the events of October 88. Appointed Minister of Defense on July 10, 1990, he fulfilled his duties with dedication until the end of 1993. During this period, he constituted a stabilizing force, preventing the collapse of the state. Khaled Nazar very quickly became a symbol in the history of Algeria. His last position was that of member of the Council of State before retiring definitively from political life in 1994 until his last days. Algeria has always defended its reputation against attacks and criticisms from abroad seeking to tarnish its image, because even when loyal men leave, their heritage and their principles endure.
Tasked by the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister Nabil Arbawi chaired today the installation ceremony for Rabia Khirfi as President of the National Economic, Social and Environmental Council, and it took place in the presence of members of the Council's Bureau. On this occasion, the Prime Minister highlighted the great importance given by the President of the Republic to this advisory constitutional body in order to promote it correctly as an active supporter of the government's activity. Let's have a listen.
I invite all civil society actors and members of our national community abroad to strengthen the process of economic and social development outlined by the President of the Republic. The President of the Republic grants particular interest to this Council, which he considers to be a forum for dialogue, consultation, analysis and studying of perspectives.
I am very grateful to the President of the Republic for the trust he has placed in me with the chairmanship of the National Economic, Social and Environmental Council, which is an important institution. We will do all that we can to work together and achieve the objectives set for us.
Local news now, as 7 sub-governorates were promoted to delegate governorates, including Berika and Qasr Shilal. The inhabitants of these two hail the President of the Republic's decision, while recalling and complementing their region's potential. Najah Tayar explains it all in this report.
In the framework of developing the economy and bringing administrations closer to the citizens, the promotion of Berika and Qasr Shilala districts to the status of delegated provinces took place as an implementation to the President of the Republic's decision, and that is due to their many assets and potentials.
We appreciate the decision of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to promote Berika district to the rank of delegated province. It should be known that Berika is one of the oldest districts of the country.
With a population of more than 200,000 in an area of around 300 square kilometers, Berika also boasts major industrial resources, including an industrial zone with numerous factories and industrial units, as well as 2 business parks. In addition to that, Berika is mainly an agricultural and pastoral region, and very known with the production of one of the most appreciated varieties of dates, that is, Mdoukel.
The Berika district has a great potential in terms of agriculture and tourism, not forgetting that this is a revolutionary region with many martyrs such as Azil Abdel Qadir.
We've been waiting for this decision to be made since 1984. The inhabitants of Qasr Shilala have welcomed the decision with enthusiasm and expressed their aspirations for local development, which is beginning to take shape.
This is one of the President of the Republic's commitments, and he realized it as promised.
This decision will definitely create jobs for young people in the region.
This decision has come at the right time as we are striving to develop our town in all sectors.
Qasr al-Shalala is destined to become a major local and national producer thanks to its strategic location and the availability of the agricultural and industrial land. The promotion of these two districts as delegated provinces will undoubtedly increase the economic activity and thus the local development.
In the province of Oran, the mediator of the Republic, Majid Ammour, stressed that improving the conditions and means of taking care of the citizens is one of the President of the Republic's achieved commitments. A statement made at the opening ceremony of the first regional conference entitled "The Citizen is at the Heart of the Interest of the President of the Republic. Transparency is the basis of a quality public service." On the international scene now, the Zionist barbarism continues on several areas of the Strip. All kinds of strikes took place as the tragedy and humanitarian situation keeps worsening. The United Nations warned of diseases following the massive exodus and the rare entry of medical help. The friend of the Algerian Revolution, Dr. Michel Martini, passed away at the age of 98. The Minister of War Veterans, Al Biga, extends his deepest condolences to the family of the late and to all the war veterans and the friends of the Algerian Revolution, stressing that Algeria lost a loyal patriot who believed in the humanitarian principles of the 1st of November revolution as he joined its ranks after a year, providing medical care to the members of the Liberation Army. He also played a significant role in forming young people in this field. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. And it is also with great sadness that we heard about the death of Atman Ghommari, head of the public television program. The late has retired in 2004. Atman Ghommari was buried this afternoon in the cemetery of Ain al-Bayda in Oran province. In these painful circumstances, the Director General of the APTV joins all the staff to present the most sincere condolences to the family of the late, praying Allah to welcome him in his vast paradise. Sport now, as the national coach Jamal Belmadi presented during a press conference held this morning at Nelson Mandela Stadium the list of the 26 players in view of the African Cup of Nations, which will be held in Côte d'Ivoire. This list is marked by the return of the goalkeeper Rais Mboulhi. And we wrap up today's news and weekend in the forest of Akfaro. An organized trip took place and it gathered young people passionate about nature and hiking. The campers want to promote this activity and make it very popular in Algeria. Covered by Walid Yousfi, story by Yassir Hamdi.
It's almost 8 p.m. These young people are getting ready to take the road heading to Béjaïa. Before their departure, Youssef and his team check the last details to make sure that nothing is missing.
We made a verification and everybody is here. All the clients arrived. We'll load the luggage in the bus and we'll go.
And here we go for a 4-hour drive to the forest of Akfadou. Once there, a little night hike is scheduled to become familiar with nature.
We are exactly 13 kilometers away from our camp and we are ready for adventure.
After a few hours of walking, we finally reach the camp. The atmosphere is great despite the fatigue. Everybody's having fun. When the morning comes, Siham, Abdou and Malik prepare lunch.
Au déjeuner, نديرو عفسة plus خفيفة.
We prepare a light meal for lunch, such as fries, eggs, and sandwiches.
Donc hier, nous avons passé une soirée très agréable qui a duré jusqu'à 8h du matin d'ailleurs.
It was an amazing night that lasted till 8 a.m. Not everyone could wake up easily. Now we're getting ready to boost our day after lunch.
The campers will discover the forest of Akfadou and its beauty, far from the noise of the city.
J'ai connu beaucoup de gens ici.
I met a lot of
beaucoup de
people
cultures.
here and
On a
we
échangé beaucoup de
exchange
cultures.
our cultures.
Et c'est
I
vraiment
advise
magnifique.
people to
Moi, je
come
conseille les
even
gens
with
de
their
venir.
families. It's very safe.
Même en famille.
Try
Parce
it
qu'il y a
and
des
you'll
gens
enjoy it.
qui ont
It will
peur,
change your
qui ne
life.
connaissent pas.
C'est un mélange de bivouac, d'aventure et de musique qu'on fait.
It's a mix of camping, adventure and music. It's very safe. I am a woman. I handle everything alone and I never faced any issue.
Je m'organise avec eux et je n'ai jamais eu aucun problème.
A few days ago, most of these young people didn't know each other. But thanks to their passion for nature, they're now members of the bivouac family.
Right, that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.